So as Eleanor reminded us today, it's that time of year again, Pledge Kickoff Sunday. It's that time of year when we pause to reflect on what this church and this community, what this faith means to us. It's the time when you're asked to do whatever calculations you're inclined to do, and then to place a concrete value on your reflection. And then to make a commitment to follow through on that promise over the course of the year. Now, some may find this their least favorite service to attend. Talk of money, as Eleanor suggested, doesn't fit with the particular vision of what a worship service should be. But for others, the time created to pause and reflect on what is of value in their lives and how to best support those values is a much welcome spiritual practice. Now, wherever you fall on that continuum, I will ask you to make the most of this time and to truly consider what you value and how this little church, this place, aligns with those values. And I know that we have some people here who are new to this community. And I'm going to ask you to reflect on what you value as well. You walk through these doors, so think about how UUG, the Unitarian Universalists of Gettysburg, align with what you value in the world. And again, as Eleanor pointed out, time, talent, treasure, we value all of them. It's a free choice of what you do. We clearly are looking for treasure because that helps to keep a lot of the doors open, the heat on, et cetera. It helps to make sure that this place exists, but talent and time are equally important. So think about what you value in your life, what this place can do to help illuminate those values. You know, as a faith tradition, we state that we value interdependence, justice, equity, pluralism, transformation, and generosity, with love right smack in the middle of everything. And to me, that sounds like the material for some pretty deep spiritual work if we choose to go there. And as Eleanor pointed out, the theme of this year for our pledge campaign is "Now is the time to thrive." Now is the time to become known as the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change. Now in this great turning, this turbulent, transformative time, now is the time to learn to lead in love. You know, when we look at the world, we may be inclined to say that we're long overdue for such change. Mystics and activists have been urging us toward change of this kind for a very, very long time. Today is also a day, tomorrow actually, that is set aside to reflect on the life's work of Martin Luther King Jr., who himself was a visionary activist who grounded himself in the values that our beloved faith aspires to. And without question, his life's work has provided a blueprint for us to follow. He reminds us that life's most pertinent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? He tells us that an individual has not started living until they can rise above the narrow confines of individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. He says that the hope of a secure and livable world lies with disciplined nonconformists who are dedicated to justice, peace, and kinship. The question is not whether we will be extremists, he says, but what kind of extremists will we be? The nation and the world are in dire need of creative, positive extremists. And as I think most of us know, he so memorably reminded us of the importance of dreaming, of creating a vision so bright that we want to put our resources of time, talent, and treasures to work toward those visionary dreams. Time to reflect on his words, to reflect on what each of us truly values, is not a one-day, once-a-year event. Such reflection is required of us on a daily basis, really. But today is our kickoff Sunday, so we focus on these questions in particular today. What do you value? How will you use your resources toward the manifestation of those values? What kind of extremist will you be? While each of us must answer those questions for ourselves, this work of tending to such visionary fires is not a solitary endeavor. Our local congregations, this congregation of hopefully disciplined, creative nonconformists, are an integral link in creating the conditions for all to thrive. That is why it is so important to support this place, to support each other, and to support the work that we do in the larger world. Alondria Williams from our Blue Note reminded us that everything comes back to our congregations and our covenanted communities. That is where faith starts and ends. We must embody the changes we wish to see, and not just say that we believe in the changes. We must actually live the changes with every fabric of our being. If we believe in the promise of our faith, we must continue pushing forward. We must make sure that this community thrives so that it can be a place of refuge, a place of comfort and support for all who enter these doors. We must make sure that this community thrives so that it can be a beacon to the larger community, to those looking for kindred spirits doing all they can to practice liberating love. The choices we make in our individual lives matter greatly. But just as much, and in some ways perhaps even more, what we do in this little red church in the middle of Gettysburg matters a lot. We must use the power and the privilege that we have, my friends. This year, 2024, is going to ask much from all of us. Fascism is rising, and love must resist. And I'm going to end with the words of Tamara Labach that were part of our prayer. Let us be willing to risk jumping in, risk taking action, risk speaking up, risk using the gifts we have been given, so that at the end of our life, we can say with absolute clarity that no part of our existence was wasted in fear of failure or fear of success. And may it be so.